I may not be dancing with the beignets tonight, but they will be having auditions this summer.
Whether it's fishing in the bayous or letting the good times roll in the streets of New Orleans, None Guesser hopes the float will bring in everyone to experience Louisiana. Common plants like boxwood, distilleum, foxtail ferns, and sunshine ligustrums may not be growing in your gardens this spring because of the high demand. While most athletes just have to travel a few minutes to enjoy their sport, Webb has to travel over 60 miles every Sunday to hit the ice. Voter organizations from across the state gathered in front of the Capitol early Wednesday morning to show they are not backing down anytime soon.
And you can't even tell the difference between a natural and lab-created diamond, which is why Neely is one of many who's choosing a gym made above ground.
With interest rates at a historic low and the housing market up 30% compared to this time last year, a house like this, which would usually take about 70 days to sell, is now expected to take 20. I'm here right in front of the state capitol where the legislature just convened for its redistricting session. Now this is a special session because redistricting only happens every 10 years. Lymphoma is a common type of cancer, but it's one of the least common that people talk about. Now, a group of LSU students are raising awareness about it as part of a national competition. A few die-hard hockey nuts from Baton Rouge have found a rarity, a hockey rink, but they have to leave the capital city to get there. Fleshman says upgrades are about halfway done for some exhibits, including the hippos and the white-necked crow. Work on the new entrance should be done by fall 2023. The landscaping industry saw a major boom after COVID hit in 2020 when many people were at home. Even as things return to normal, local landscape services still expect boosts this spring. More than 1 million Louisianians are without power tonight in the wake of Hurricane Ida. However, here on LSU's campus, that is not the case. The biggest voter turnout in a century, the election results could take a few days as ballot counting continues across the country. Baton Rouge tourism is finally recovering after it suffered a $5 billion loss in 2020. Some of you might be stuck on Zoom a little longer. LSU decided to extend the online Zoom option for professors for 2 more weeks. Daily conditioning, practicing, and stumbles, all to stick the landing, are a part of practice at Baton Rouge Valor Elite Group's gym.
We hit 3 events a day.
Macy McKnight has flipped into this elite group after 10 years on the mats.
I'm excelling more than I think I would have.
But her and her squad do more than just tumbles and flips. After Simone Biles' Olympic mental health crisis forced people to consider a new perspective.
I was like, okay, maybe something's really going on, and maybe this is an important thing that we need to look at.
Not only are these young gymnasts balancing on this beam behind me, but after this Olympics, they're balancing their physical and mental health with the help of Valor Gymnastics.
We've partnered with a physical therapy group called METS. Part of mental health is also physical.
This gym took on a change. Proof it was needed, the Olympic mental health conversation tied in with a 15% drop in enrollment.
We've gotten as gym club owners is, hey, you know, you guys are pushing these girls. What are y'all doing for their mental health?
Part of the plan, no yelling at this gym.
They're coming along, very nice. And we keep them moving, doing skills and drills, and the fun is in learning the gymnastics.
Kaiser hopes other gyms throughout Louisiana will follow his model, and as for the rest of the nation,
good. I think it's time to turn the page.
Catapult a new chapter of healthy gymnastic careers.
There you go. Nice. Easy, good.
Developmental milestones like when your child should babble or walk are crucial in detecting behavior and speech delays. The CDC recently adjusted the criteria for these milestones. Local speech therapists have some concerns about the changes.
Jennifer Morrow's daughter began speech therapy when she was 4 years old.
Pre-K program, and her teachers were noticing some speech delays.
At 4 years old, the new CDC guideline says she should have been telling stories and speaking in complex sentences.
The sentences weren't as complex as the other kids.
Luckily, they caught the delay early enough.
In pre-K, you know, especially the intensive kind of speech therapy that they do here, it really made a difference, and it brought her up into line with the grade she's in now.
Stacy Levy, a speech-language pathologist, says early identification is key for noticing developmental delays.
When we can get children in and identified and we can help them so much earlier, then they're going to make such quicker gains in closing that gap.
But the CDC's new milestones loosen criteria for younger ages.
This is really going to change how children are identified, how, what age and how early.
One change in the recommendations, the number of words in a 2-year-old's vocabulary.
The new expectation is that a child would have 50 words in their vocabulary. What we know from research is that expectation the average 30-month-old or 2.5-year-old would have about 400 words in their vocabulary.
This means the CDC expects 2-year-olds to have about 12% of the vocabulary that research suggests. Experts say such a large gap may actually cause delays to go unnoticed until later ages.
What could possibly happen is that we would not see as many of those younger ones, and then all of a sudden we're going to see when they hit school age.
Morrow says she doesn't think her daughter would be as successful if they did not recognize the delays in pre-K.
The amount of progress she's made is remarkable. She's at a magnet school. She's reading at grade level.
She says her daughter continues to learn and grow every session. Whether or not parents want to follow the CDC guidelines, Levy urges parents to seek guidance from specialists if they notice any type of developmental delays. Ally Kadlubar, WBRZ News 2.
As you can see right now, the weather is just starting to pick up and the parking lot is emptying as campus closed at 3 p.m. due to the severe weather.
And for game day Saturday, we will have a high of 84 and a low of 71 with a 54% chance of rain. So keep that rain chance in mind when picking out your game day attire. But remember, the chance of rain in Death Valley